So the first part of sales process that I want to talk to you about is about documenting your sales process. Now, big businesses are really great at doing this. For example, you go into any Walmart anywhere and you're gonna see that the process is exactly the same. They're gonna greet you at the door. The people that check you out say the exact same thing. They have their process taken care of. McDonald's is another one. It's been around a long time, and process is part of what made McDonald's so successful. Whereas other businesses were kind of doing everything a little bit different. They really widgetized fast food. They widgetized a restaurant and made it so every single step was super repeatable and super spelled out, so that when they went and opened up a new store, it was just a cookie cutter of the last store. They weren't figuring anything out. Everything was already figured out, and all of those processes were already built for them. And so it isn't just big businesses that can benefit from this. We as small businesses, and especially if we are super small businesses, we're talking solopreneurs, creative professionals, coaches, people that are doing a lot of this on your own, which I am, which Sean is the same way. He's got a very small team. Like, we know how to get these things done, and we know how to bring in some of these strategies that big businesses are to make them work for us. And one of these is documenting your sales process. Now you might think, I don't need to document my sales process, but really you do. So let's talk about some of the different parts of your sales process that need to be documented, and then we're going to talk about why it's so important. So when people first start to decide they're going to buy something, for example, I have done, web design and marketing, social media marketing for a really long time. So let's use web design for an example. So if somebody needs a website designed, maybe they go into Google and they start to figure out if they could do it themselves. Maybe they start to Google if they can meet with somebody locally that they can see if they want to work with them for web design. Maybe they go and call other business owners that they know. They're in research mode. So a lot of people are going to find your business when they are in research mode. So you've got to actually think of, okay, so if somebody is in research mode, where are they going to find me? Maybe Judy, that is going to send you an email and go, hey, Tori, I want to introduce you to Tom. He has a new business and he needs a web design. So that is going to be an introduction from somebody that I know. And so I need to say, okay, that is a sales process. When I get an email from anybody I know, here's what I want to happen. And I really need to think about, this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3, and all the way down to they end up becoming our customer. So some people won't become your customer, but that doesn't mean that you forget about them. There still is a follow-up process that you can follow for them so that they still have contact with you, that they still get regular updates from you. They get perhaps your newsletter, perhaps they follow you on social media, so that maybe they don't end up hiring you for web design, but maybe they need a social media campaign later, and you do that as well. Do you see how, you don't want to get rid of that person just because they didn't hire you? So you need to work that into your sales process. Now, what am I going to do when I get the email from Tom? I'm probably going to thank Judy for, referring him. And then I'm also going to reach out to Tom. Well, do I want to have Tom call me? Am I going to have a Zoom meeting? Do we want to go have coffee? I have to figure that out ahead of time so that every time that I get a referral, I'm not like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I have that little recipe worked out so that I pull out my It's a Referral recipe book, and I know exactly what's going to happen. And that way I don't miss a step, because when you don't have this stuff documented, you end up missing things. And then you forget about Tom, and then Tom doesn't know that you do, social media, and Tom doesn't know that you could have made a logo for him, and Tom goes somewhere else. But Tom, because he was a referral, that's a warm lead. That's already somebody that knows that they can trust you, and you don't want to throw that away. So documenting your sales process is a way that you can make sure that that is not thrown away. So for the website example, we talk about, a referral. Well, how else is somebody going to find me? Maybe somebody reaches out and sends me a direct message on social media. Maybe somebody that's already a friend. Maybe somebody I have no idea who they are. So I need to figure out what the process is for that person. If I have a brick and mortar business, I need to figure out when somebody walks in the door, what happens? Do I greet them? What do I say to them? And I document exactly what's going to happen. When somebody comes to check out with me, do I ask them for their email? Do I email them a receipt? How do I make sure that they get on my email list so that I can keep sending them emails, so I can keep sending them updates so that they can become a recurring customer? Then you can work out, how do I get reviews and testimonials? How can I put that into my sales process? How can I follow up after they've bought? And how can I get them to buy again? So all of these things need to be worked out. So what I'd like you to do is I want you to actually take a different sheet of paper, whether you're typing this out or you're writing this out. I'm a writer, so I would take a different sheet of paper and I would put referral from a referral, and then I'd write down all the steps, and then I would look at that and figure out what I need to do to build that out so that no step is missed. So if I'm going to say, hey Tom, it was really great meeting you. Do you mind if I put you on my email list so that you can get updates from me? And Tom's like, yes, of course. And so, I checked that off, that I know I did that part. So I know that Tom is on my email list. I know when somebody walks in the door, exactly what I'm going to do. So at the top of each page, I'm going to put, the first one is referral. Maybe the next one is, somebody direct messages me from social media that I don't know, and I put down all these different ways that somebody might be coming into my sales process, which is when the first time they're going to meet me, and I write down and figure out exactly what I want to happen at every single step. Now, a lot of people have this a little bit worked out, but the part that they're missing is after the sale. And we're going to talk about that further in another one. But for right now, I just want you to get up to that sale and figure out exactly what is going to happen. And do this for each one of your different ways that customers are going to be coming in, to your space, and what exactly you want them to do during each step. And then we're going to talk about how we can start to build these things out further. Thanks.